Why do some people seem to effortlessly attract opportunities, healing, or synchronicities while others feel stuck in loops of repetition and stagnation? This isn't just luck, mindset, or random fate. It might have everything to do with the intention behind your thoughts and the consciousness observing them. Imagine if every decision you made didn't just affect your future, but also sculpted the fabric of reality itself. Sounds like science fiction? Well, it's closer to quantum science than you think. In the quantum realm, your mind is more than a processor, it's a projector. Not just observing the movie of life, but choosing which reel gets played. Your consciousness isn't passively sitting in the background. It's at the control panel, selecting possibilities, collapsing waves into form, and turning the invisible into the visible. By the way, if you're finding this journey fascinating, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We're building a space for curious minds like yours who crave depth, clarity, and a touch of magic in science. You'll be the first to know when we dive into topics that awaken your mind and spirit. Back to the quantum stage, intention isn't just a wish or desire. It's a frequency. And like tuning a radio, the clearer your frequency, the more aligned your reality becomes. But here's the twist. Your intention only becomes powerful when it resonates with a deeper field of intelligence. A field that many ancient traditions called the source, and modern physics is starting to recognize as consciousness itself. We've all been told to set an intention, but what does that really mean in energetic terms? When you form an intention, you're not just declaring a goal, you're broadcasting a vibration. This vibration interacts with the quantum field, the infinite sea of possibilities, influencing what collapses into your tangible world. Think of it like planting a seed. Your thought is the seed, but your state of consciousness is the soil. Plant a seed of abundance in fear, and it might never sprout. But plant it in awareness, trust, and alignment, and the universe knows exactly how to help it grow, even in unpredictable ways. Quantum physics has shown us that observation affects outcome. But here's what's often missed. It's not just the act of observing. It's the quality of the observer. Are you watching from doubt or from knowing? From separation or from connection? This makes all the difference. You're not separate from the field you're trying to influence. You are the field. Every intention you set ripples through the interconnected web of consciousness. That's why emotions like gratitude, compassion, and clarity have measurable energetic effects. They tune you into higher frequencies of coherence. Let's pause for a moment and reflect. What is your dominant intention these days? Are you aware of the energy behind your choices, your goals, your words? Intention is not just what you want. It's what you're broadcasting, even unconsciously. And speaking of unconscious, most people walk through life with intentions formed by past wounds, fears, or social programming. It's like trying to create art using someone else's brush and palette. True power begins when you reclaim your inner authority. We're not victims of reality, we're participants. But not all participants are aware they're in the game. The moment you realize you're both player and designer, life stops feeling random. It becomes an evolving conversation between your soul and the cosmos. This doesn't mean you get everything you want instantly. In the quantum realm, timing and harmony matter. Sometimes what you desire isn't aligned with your deepest truth, and the field knows. Resistance isn't denial, it's redirection. Here's where things get even more intriguing. Intention works best when it's surrendered. Yes, you heard that right. The most powerful intentions are those held with clarity but released with trust. Like a whisper carried by the wind, they find the right time and space to manifest. That's why meditation isn't just relaxation, it's recalibration. A moment to detach from ego-driven demands and realign with the broader current of universal intelligence. In silence, intention transforms from wishful thinking to quantum command. Imagine a version of you that doesn't just wish for things but magnetizes them by being in resonance with the deeper flow of reality. That version is already inside you, waiting to be activated by conscious intention. Now, take a breath and ask yourself, what are you truly intending today? Not just in words, but in energy. That question alone can begin to rewire the way you show up in the world. Because every thought you have is a vote for the reality you want to live in. Every emotion, a color in the canvas of the quantum. And every intention, a portal to a possibility that has yet to be born. Most of us live under the illusion that our thoughts are isolated, private, echoing only inside our heads. But what if every thought, especially when charged with intention, acted like a signal, not just within us, but sent out into a responsive universe? Modern science once saw the mind as a byproduct of the brain, but quantum discoveries are cracking open that belief, suggesting that mind is not confined to the skull. It's everywhere. And here's the twist. The universe isn't passively listening. It's replying. But most people are too noisy to hear it. The ego, always planning, analyzing, comparing, interrupts the deeper frequency where the true dialogue happens. It's like trying to hear a whisper at a rock concert. And yet, the whisper never stops. In quantum language, the ego operates on the surface of consciousness. It's the thinking mind, conditioned by memories, traumas, culture, and fear. It wants control, certainty, and immediate results. But reality, the deeper, richer, multi-layered truth of existence, doesn't speak that language. Intention from the ego often lacks power because it's disconnected from the source. It's like pressing buttons on a remote that isn't synced with the TV. The signal is there, but it doesn't reach. True manifestation, as shown in quantum models, requires coherence between egoic desire and conscious resonance. That's why so many affirmations fall flat. You say, "I am abundant," but internally you feel scarcity. You say, "I am loved," while fearing rejection. The quantum field doesn't respond to words, it responds to frequency. And your frequency is set not by what you say, but by what you believe deeply. So how do we shift from empty affirmations to powerful intentions? It begins by quieting the ego, not killing it, but softening its grip. When you stop fighting for control, you start making space for alignment. From that space, intention transforms from mental demand to sacred offering. Quantum experiments show that observation collapses probability into actuality. But the quality of that observation, calm or chaotic, trusting or anxious, matters. When you observe with faith, something shifts. Possibility starts to bend toward you, like a sunflower toward light. But don't mistake this for magical thinking. This isn't about wishing something into existence without action. It's about creating alignment so that your actions carry the power of the whole. One aligned action can move more than 100 scattered ones. Let's use an analogy. Your life is a sailboat, and intention is the sail. The ego wants to row against the current. Consciousness, it waits for the wind. When your sail is up and you're aligned with the wind of deeper purpose, movement becomes effortless. Now pause for a moment. When was the last time you trusted your intention? Truly trusted it without needing instant evidence? Because trust is the bridge between intention and manifestation. It allows the unknown to work its magic in divine timing. This trust doesn't mean inaction. It means choosing inspired action over frantic control. You don't need to chase outcomes. You need to listen, feel, and follow the quiet pull of resonance. That's where the gold lies, in the stillness beneath the noise. And here's something beautiful. The universe is kinder than you think. If your intention is pure, even when delayed, it's never ignored. Sometimes the no you receive is simply not now, because something better is being arranged behind the veil. But to live like this requires surrender. Not passive waiting, but courageous release. Like exhaling after holding your breath too long. Intention becomes a dance between clarity and letting go, a rhythm that activates the deepest forces of reality. Every tradition spoke of this in different terms: prayer, faith, surrender, devotion. Now quantum science is offering a parallel path. The observer affects the observed, but only when the observer is coherent, present, and surrendered to the field. Ask yourself now, what am I still clinging to? What desire do I keep forcing rather than aligning? Because when we force, we're disconnected. When we align, we co-create. It's that simple and that profound. And yes, it takes practice, daily, minute by minute. But once you taste the power of aligned intention, the game changes. You no longer fight the current, you learn to flow with it, surf it, even shape it. So today, set your sail. Not with fear, but with faith. Not with pressure, but with presence. And remember, the wind is already blowing. Your only job is to trust, adjust, and rise. Have you ever wondered why some moments feel undeniably meant to be? You meet someone by chance who changes your life. A book falls off a shelf with the exact message you needed. You think of someone and they call. These are not coincidences, they are resonances. When your intention harmonizes with the quantum field, the universe becomes a living, breathing mirror. This harmony is not mental, it's vibrational. It's not about being smart, it's about being in tune. Your nervous system, heart rhythms, emotional state, and even your breath send messages into the field. When these systems are coherent, intention becomes magnetic. You stop pushing and start attracting. Science is catching up. HeartMath Institute studies show that heart coherence amplifies intuition and clarity. In a coherent state, your heart and brain create a synchronized field that can be measured several feet outside the body. This is not mysticism, it's measurable. And yet, coherence is rare in our fast, noisy world. Most people live in a state of chronic incoherence. Racing thoughts, suppressed emotions, shallow breathing. It's like trying to tune into a song while surrounded by static. That's why clarity of intention often feels distant. It's drowned in internal noise. But the shift is always one breath away. The moment you breathe consciously, become still, and reconnect with presence, you begin to synchronize. In that state, intention stops being an idea and becomes a vibration, a wave that enters the sea of potential and calls back results. One misunderstood aspect is that intention isn't a one-time act. It's a continuous frequency, maintained by your state of being. You can't just set an intention in the morning and abandon it in anxiety by noon. You must live the energy of what you wish to create. This is where embodiment comes in. To attract peace, be peaceful. To attract abundance, act from abundance. To attract love, live in the vibration of love. The field doesn't respond to wishful thinking, it responds to energetic embodiment. Quantum physics teaches us that everything is interconnected, non-local, entangled. That means your intention isn't isolated. It ripples out, entangling with similar vibrations across time and space. What you align with, you begin to magnetize. That's why alignment is more powerful than effort. In alignment, life begins to conspire with you. The right people appear. The right words come. The path unfolds not from planning, but from presence. It's as if the field itself starts moving furniture to make space for your vision. This doesn't mean life becomes perfect. Challenges will still arise, but they come with meaning, not chaos, with guidance, not confusion. In an aligned state, even delays feel purposeful. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, what now? And this shift creates space. Space to feel, to listen, to recalibrate, and most importantly, to receive. Intention is a giving, but receiving is equally essential. You must be open, willing, and humble enough to accept what the field returns. Sometimes the field answers with silence. Don't mistake this for absence. Silence is often integration. It's the space between intention and manifestation, where energy reorganizes and the next steps are shaped. In that stillness, you may receive insights, nudges, synchronicities. These are the breadcrumbs that guide your path. They may not look like your plan, but they feel right in your bones. Follow them. The soul knows the way. Here's a quantum truth. The observer and the observed are one. You're not just influencing reality, you are reality. Every intention you hold is part of the cosmic orchestra, and when you play in tune, the universe sings back. This is why clarity matters. A scattered mind creates scattered results. But a focused mind, aligned with an open heart and steady breath, becomes a beacon. The field recognizes coherence, it rewards it, expands it, reflects it. So pause now, reflect. What frequency are you broadcasting right now? Is it impatience or trust? Is it doubt or knowing? The field listens to the quiet under your words. That's where the true signal lies. Now I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment sharing a moment where something seemingly random happened that felt too perfect to be a coincidence. Have you experienced a synchronicity that confirmed your intention was heard? Let's create a tapestry of resonance in the comments. And if this insight lit something up inside you, hit the like button, share this with a friend who needs to hear it, and of course, stay tuned. There's so much more to uncover about your power to co-create with the universe. One of the hardest things to accept is that you're not in control, and yet, this is the very key to accessing your highest creative power. The paradox of intention is this. The moment you release your grip, reality begins to move in your favor. But surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means aligning with a wisdom beyond your mind. Think of a bow and arrow. Your intention is the arrow, your focus the aim. But to let it fly, you must release. If you hold on too long, your arm shakes, the arrow wobbles, and the target is missed. Letting go is not weakness, it's precision in motion. It's trust embodied. But how do you trust when the outcome is uncertain? That's the edge most people fear walking. We're conditioned to believe that control equals safety. But in the quantum realm, control often collapses the very possibilities we crave. Freedom lives in flow, not in force. And flow is not passive, it's deeply engaged. It listens, adjusts, responds. It's a dance with reality, not a domination of it. The most aligned intentions emerge not from pushing harder, but from listening deeper. What does your life want to become through you? There's an ancient intelligence behind manifestation. When you release your grip on the how, you open the gateway to the unknown, the birthplace of true miracles. Trying to micromanage the process limits it, but trusting the intelligence of life expands it. This doesn't mean you sit and do nothing. It means you act from alignment, not for validation. Your actions are offerings, not transactions. And when the outcome shifts, you don't panic, you adapt. That's sacred surrender in action. Most of us have an inner control freak trained by trauma, survival, and fear. This part of you believes that unless you manage every variable, disaster will strike. But your soul knows better. Your soul breathes in rhythm with the field, not against it. So when things don't go as planned, instead of asking, "What did I do wrong?" try asking, "What is life teaching me right now?" This reframe opens doors where walls once stood. It activates curiosity over criticism, wonder over worry. Because sometimes the delay is an upgrade in disguise. What you thought was rejection may actually be redirection. The field is not punishing you, it's repositioning you for greater alignment. And that requires surrender, not to fate, but to flow. Let's talk about the role of patience. Patience is not waiting for something to happen. It's holding steady in the energy of trust while it's happening. The seed doesn't question the soil, it trusts the process of becoming. And yes, that can feel uncomfortable. Letting go of the timeline, the image, the expected path, requires faith muscles that modern life rarely helps us build. But the more you practice surrender, the more you see that life has always been working with you. Think of a time you were grateful something didn't work out the way you wanted. In hindsight, can you see the perfection of the detour? These are your reminders that the field is intelligent. It's weaving timelines beyond your current perspective. So when you set an intention, set it like a compass, not a contract. Let it guide you, not cage you. Stay open to surprises, because the field often delivers gifts in packages you weren't expecting. And your only job is to recognize them when they arrive. Surrender also invites humility. You stop trying to bend the universe to your will and instead become an instrument of the greater symphony. This shift from I want to, I'm available transforms you from a beggar to a co-creator. In this space, your life becomes more than just a to-do list of goals. It becomes a channel for grace, insight, and synchronicity. You stop chasing and you start receiving. Not because you gave up, but because you let in. So take a moment now. What are you holding too tightly? What desire are you suffocating with overthinking? Can you release it, not because you don't care, but because you trust? That trust, that release, is the final ingredient to true manifestation. What if your life wasn't happening to you, but through you? What if every moment was a mirror reflecting not your luck or fate, but the frequency you're embodying? That's the real secret no one teaches in school. You are not a fixed identity. You are a signal, and that signal shapes your reality. When you wake up each morning, you're not just entering a new day. You're stepping into a fresh field of probability. The energy you bring into that space, your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, acts like a tuning fork. It sets the tone for what the universe reflects back. So if you want to change your reality, you must first change your resonance. This isn't about pretending to be positive. It's about becoming honest with yourself. Real power comes from authenticity. The frequency of truth is the highest signal you can emit. Let's be clear. This isn't about bypassing pain or ignoring problems. It's about holding your intention even in the storm. It's choosing coherence in chaos, clarity in confusion, and purpose in the mundane. That's where transformation lives, not in escape, but in embodiment. Think of your body as an antenna. Every cell vibrates with memory, emotion, intention. When you live in alignment, you broadcast a signal that the universe can't ignore. Doors open, connections deepen. Life feels strangely and beautifully alive. But it's not a one-time shift. This is a lifestyle, a daily devotion to tuning your inner world before reacting to the outer. It's about beginning your day not with your to-do list, but with a moment of stillness. What am I choosing to radiate today? That's a question worth repeating daily, because life is not about chasing something outside. It's about expanding who you are so fully that what you desire becomes drawn to you effortlessly. You stop attracting by effort and start attracting by essence. And don't underestimate the power of small shifts. One breath of awareness, one choice to return to presence, one act of compassion toward yourself. These are quantum moves. They ripple outward, adjusting probabilities far beyond what you can see. Your intention, when held with integrity and vibrated with clarity, becomes a command to the cosmos. Not as a demand, but as a dance. Not from entitlement, but from alignment. You don't force reality, you invite it. And that invitation becomes magnetic. People feel it. Circumstances mold around it. Life begins to whisper, yes, you're in tune. That's not magic. That's coherence in action. So the next time you face doubt, remind yourself, I am not here to control everything. I'm here to align, trust, and respond. I'm here to tune in and let the song of life sing through me. Because I am not separate from this universe. I am the universe, aware of itself. Now take a breath. Feel your heart. What is it longing to create? What wants to be expressed through you? Let that intention rise, not from fear, but from freedom. Not from urgency, but from love. And if something in this message lit you up, if it reminded you of who you really are, then I invite you to join our space. Hit that subscribe button, not just for content, but for connection. This community is built for souls like you, awake, curious, and expanding. Sparkles, and here's your invitation. Share in the comments what intention you're holding right now. What frequency do you want to embody more fully? Let's co-create a wave of resonance right here in this sacred digital field. If this message moved you, share it with a friend who needs this reminder. Give it a like, not for the algorithm, but for the affirmation. And subscribe to walk this path together, because the more of us who live intentionally, the more beautiful this world becomes. We're not just watchers of reality. We're shapers. We're dreamers. We're builders of the invisible. And together, we're remembering how to make the intangible real. Let's rise, resonate, and reveal the life we're meant to live, one aligned intention at a time.